Hello and welcome to this webinar about speaking confidently for years 7, 8 and 9. We're looking at speaking confidently in formal context and using standard English correctly. And we're covering 3 key areas: what to do, what not to do, and other top tips for speaking confidently in formal context. First of all, let's talk about what to do in order to speak confidently. First of all, know your subject. To be able to speak confidently, you need to do your research. Take time to plan carefully. You need to sound authoritative. That means you're sounding confident, but not arrogant. Secondly, speak slowly. Speak clearly and speak loudly. Pretend that everyone is at the back of the hall so that you have to project your voice. Thirdly, try to relax. Give your speech a rhythm. Don't rush, try and breathe and include pauses. Pause for effect and pause to gather your thoughts. Now keep facing the audience. Try and make eye contact with as many different people as possible. Use gesture, use body language to emphasize your points. Try also to stand tall. Stand confidently, move around if it helps, but try not to rock from side to side, which many people do when they feel nervous, which is the opposite of speaking confidently. Number 6, vary your sentence structure. Use some short sentences, use some long sentences, keep the audience alert. Fragmented sentences are fine, but use them sparingly and for emphasis. Number 6, use vocabulary that's appropriate to the audience. Always remember who you are talking to and repeat some key points. Besides helping the audience remember your message, repetition builds their awareness of your key points and your main theme. Ask rhetorical questions. Well, we've all been there, haven't we? That attracts your listeners' attention. It keeps them engaged. And if they're engaged, that helps you to speak confidently in a formal context. Include personal experiences, include anecdotes. These will help to really bolster or support your points, and they'll also help you to connect with your audience. And use quotations. Quotations are wonderful. They work on lots of different levels. They force your audience to think. And when you use a quotation that's clearly attributed to someone that the audience will recognize, again, that will connect you to them. What about some of the don'ts then? Let's look at some of the common mistakes that people make when they're using standard English or attempting to use standard English. Firstly is consonants and vowels. Use a for consonants and an for vowels. So don't say a apple in your formal presentations or when you're speaking confidently. Don't say a elephant, it's an elephant. Remember to use the an for any word that starts with a vowel. What about we were? We was going. Lots of people use this. It's a very common mistake, very common error in English. So the standard English is we were. Don't make sure you use that, and that will help you to speak confidently. The other one, very common, is could have. Instead of could have, it could have been better rather than could have. And double negatives. This is very common when people speak. To speak confidently, don't use double negatives. Things like I didn't get no help from nobody. I didn't get any help. I never go nowhere without my iPad. I never go anywhere. I couldn't find no paper. I couldn't find any. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do anything. So avoid those mistakes. And also make sure that when you're speaking confidently in formal context, that you don't use colloquial or informal words as slang. It doesn't have a place in formal context. Finally, other top tips for speaking confidently, thinking particularly for PowerPoint. Don't use loads of text on your PowerPoint. Try and have minimalist, clutter-free slides. Don't ask people to read things and they fall silent. If you've got something that's long, read out key parts or paraphrase it. Point to diagrams if you're explaining them. That will help you feel confident. Don't go over the allocated time. And most importantly, rehearse thoroughly. I hope that's really helped you to think about speaking confidently Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.